In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on March 4th, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best bet single picks, best bet parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Kansas versus Texas. The number 9 Texas Longhorns will host the number 3 Kansas Jayhawks inside the Moody Center on Saturday on Senior Day. The game will be televised on ESPN with John Syambite, Dick Vidale, and Chris Budden calling the action. The Jayhawks defended their home court in this rivalry on February 6th, defeating the Longhorns 88-80. Kansas leads the all-time series 37-12, including 11 wins and 20 trips to Austin. Kansas is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games. The under is 7-2 in Kansas' last 9 Saturday games. Texas is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 home games and 7-19 against the spread in their last 26 games following an against the spread win. The over is 9-2-1 in Texas' last 12 home games. The home team is 3-0-1 against the spread in these 2 teams' last 4 head-to-head meetings. This should be a great game between 2 top 10 teams to close the Big 12 regular season. Despite their high national rankings, both Kansas and Texas are under .500 against the spread this season. The Jayhawks have failed to cover in 2 straight games, while Texas has covered in 2 of its last 3 and 4 of its last 5 at home. On paper, the Longhorns can go toe-to-toe with Kansas in most statistical categories, with the exception of rebounding. The Jayhawks out-rebounded the Longhorns by 7 in their first meeting, but Texas held its own throughout the majority of the box score. With Kansas already clinching the Big 12 regular season title, the Jayhawks may not be as motivated as they need to be headed into a tough road environment. I'll side with Texas to defend its home court, so the Texas Longhorns to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams have over-under splits this season that favor the over. For Kansas, the over has hit 16 out of 30 times, and for Texas, 16 out of 28. The Longhorns have a very powerful offense, while the Jayhawks rely more on a balanced approach. In the end, I expect the over to hit, since these are the 2 best shooting teams in the Big 12, and they both rank inside the top 75 nationally in terms of Ken Palm's adjusted tempo. When they got together in Lawrence, Texas, and Kansas combined for 168 points. The Longhorns up-tempo, the efficient offense will be on full display again at home, where they've averaged just under 84 points per game over their last 3 games. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Pittsburgh versus Miami, Florida. The Pitt Panthers and the Miami Hurricanes will battle it out on Saturday for at least a share of the Atlantic Coast Conference regular season crown in the season finale for both teams. Pitt comes into this matchup with an overall record of 21-9 and 14-5 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes are 23-6 overall and 14-5 in conference play. Pitt is 20-9-1 against the spread this season, with a 19-11 over-under record. Miami is 18-11 against the spread this year, with a 13-15-1 over-under record. This is what conference expansion is all about. Miami and Pitt both joined the Atlantic Coast Conference after 2010 years apart from each other, and they'll now both look to make school history. The Canes truly control their own destiny, as a win here would give them their 2nd conference crown, and I think they seize the moment. While I do think Miami wins this game at home, Pitt is going to go out with a fight. The Miami Hurricanes are a dangerous bunch that's capable of beating any team in the country by a decent margin. However, this line is a bit disrespectful toward Pitt, a club that's won and covered numbers all year. Pitt wins on the road by an average of 5 points. The Panthers have enjoyed one of their best seasons since joining the conference, and I like spotting them the points in what could end up being a spoiling effort. So the Pittsburgh Panthers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. In the last meeting, these schools combined to score just 139 total points, making the total on this game kind of curious. Neither team is blazing the court up with their pace of play, as Miami ranks 105th in Ken Palm's tempo ratings and Pitt ranks 190th. The reason this total is so big is due to the current offensive output between the teams, as they have combined to average 167 points per game over their last 5 each. That is definitely something to take pause over. However, these numbers are a bit inflated by a couple of big games on both sides. Pitt put up 99 on Syracuse but otherwise scored in the 70s in 3 of their last 5 games. Miami dropped 96 on Wake Forest but followed that up with 76 against Virginia Tech. None of the last 10 meetings between these teams has produced a total that was near the one placed on this game. The under is 6-1 in the Panthers' last 8 games versus a winning team and is 7-0 in the Hurricanes' last 7 versus a winning team. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Oklahoma State versus Texas Tech. It's a Big 12 showdown on the college hardwood as a pair of teams off to hot starts take the floor in search of a win in the Lone Star State. The Oklahoma State Cowboys are on the road as they travel to face the Texas Tech Red Raiders Saturday evening. Oklahoma State was beaten 74-68 at home in their previous contest Monday night by number 7 Baylor, failing to cover the line as a 1-point underdog. Texas Tech fell 67-63 at number 3 Kansas in their most recent game Tuesday night, though they did cover the line as an 8-point underdog. In the all-time series between the programs, the Cowboys own a 42-24 advantage and have won 5 of the last 6 meetings, including 2 straight. They took a 71-68 win at home in the first meeting this season February 3rd. Texas Tech is 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. Oklahoma State is 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games. The over is 8-2 in Oklahoma State's last 11 games. The over is 4-1 in Oklahoma State's last 6 games following a straight-up loss. The first meeting between these schools came back on February 8th, with the Cowboys pulling off a 71-68 win at home as minus 5.5 favorites. It took a last-second 3-point shot for Oklahoma State to pull out the straight-up win, and the Red Raiders handed them 16 turnovers in the game to help their cause. Oklahoma State is 5-6 against the spread on the road this season. Texas Tech is 6-10 against the spread at home this year, although they have gone 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 in Lubbock. The Raiders lost by just 4 versus the number 3 ranked team in the country on the road in their last game and by just 1 point to the number 24 ranked team the game prior. Since their loss to Oklahoma State, Texas Tech picked up wins over number 12 Kansas State and number 6 Texas at home. The home team is 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 meetings between the schools. Texas Tech has been a better team at home and they are going to continue that success here. Texas Tech is averaging 74 points per game and they are going to have no issue running up the score in this game. Oklahoma State isn't going to be keeping up, so the Texas Tech Raiders to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. They put up a combined 139 points in the last meeting, going over the total by 4 points. It was the 7th over in the last 8 meetings between the two schools. They have a combined 31 overs between them this season. The over is 7-2 in the Cowboys' last 10 games and 6-3 in the Red Raiders' last 10. In their last 5 games, the two teams have a combined average of 145 points per game. Oklahoma State is averaging 71 points per game in that stretch, despite shooting just 43%. That tells me that they will get their points even on a poor shooting night. The same can be said for Texas Tech, who has averaged 74.6 in their last 5 despite shooting 43.2% overall. The Red Raiders have scored 71 or more points in 5 of their last 6 games. The Cowboys have scored 71 or more in 6 of their last 10. The over is 7-0 in the Red Raiders' last 7 games versus a team with a winning record and 7-1 in the Cowboys' last 8 versus a winning team. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.